Let's talk Padre baseball. Nice headline there. Hey, first time they've done this since 1998. Last time they did this, they started in 1984. Padres out of the gate quick. Have to be out of the gate quick because the Dodgers started 5-0. But what we've seen has been pretty good. Padres have played on the edge. A lot of guys with a lot of big hits. Padres hitting home runs. Padres playing unbelievably gifted defense, at least the first weekend of the season. And how about the bullpen? The bullpen has given up 1 run in 16 innings. Now, the starters have staggered a little bit. The guys at the front of the rotation have not pitched well. Randy Vasquez, though, did pitch well in his first start. We'll see if this continues. But at the end of the day, they whacked Atlanta. They knocked Atlanta for a loop. 4 straight wins against a pretty good team from the National League East. I was really impressed with all things Padres baseball. Very impressed with Padres defense. I mean, this almost felt like this is pennant race baseball. Hell, this is the first weekend of the regular season. I mean, they were making plays, they were turning plays, they were running the bases, coming up with timely hits, home runs. Everybody in the lineup, for the most part, including the bottom of the batting order, the catchers who don't have bats, has really contributed. So I was really impressed with everything I saw first weekend of baseball. That's a nice headline. At least they did that to Atlanta. Now they get Cleveland before they go on the road. Pretty impressed.
Yeah. Bam, bang, boom. It's like an episode of Batman from the late 60s. The whole thing was great. Like you said, the offense, the defense, the bottom of the order, Gavin Sheets with the home run, first, pitch at Petco Park. He had another base hit. He's playing DH. He's in the rotation. So it's all good. I mean, what we're seeing here from the Padres and the pitching. I mean, who would have thought that our number 3 and number 4 starters, Vasquez and this new guy, Pivetta, were going to outpitch King and Cease?
I concur with you. I'm not alarmed that King and Cease staggered, threw an awful lot of pitches in the 3 and 4 plus innings that they worked. And it was odd because those two guys, when we got to the end of spring training, and usually your last start or 2 in the Cactus League is when it's really ramped up and they drop the green flag and you look like, yeah, I'm ready to start the season. Both those guys pitched well right at the end of the Cactus League, and then they did not in the first game, first time through the rotation. But it's early. If we can keep them healthy, this is going to be fun. Now, are they going to win 4 games in a row every time they play somebody? No, probably not. But boy, they did jump. They jumped on Atlanta's bullpen. Holy cow! And the Braves bullpen just self-destructed. So I was really pleased with all things Padre baseball. So God's not going to take the 4 wins away. They own that.
I mean, they're 4-0 to start, and yet they're in second place, a half a game out of first. Which is funny. But it was just a tremendous weekend. And you're talking about the good defense, the high baseball IQ play on that double play with Cronenworth, where it was sort of an infield fly, but it wasn't. He let it drop, made that play. So there's just so much to love here. But I don't know. Were you watching Jason Hayward when he was batting?
No.
He looked kind of tentative. He looked like he was twitching in the box. He looked nervous.
Didn't have a good spring. Maybe he's working on some things mechanically to try to find his stroke. But it's early. I'm not pushing any panic buttons. And there are alternatives. If Hayward has lost the speed of his swing, there are alternatives out there, at least on this roster. Somebody else will get the kick at the can. I tend to think it's going to be Brandon Lockridge.
Yeah. He had a hell of an opportunity. He had that double down the line. So there's a lot to like. We're not sure. You were saying they're wafer thin, and they are, but you got to feel good about coming out of the gate 4-0.
Okay, one point here. Point of clarification. Because I misspoke on something I said last week, and I got people jumping on my shoes because of it. Somewhere during the course of the conversation, you may have asked me, were they going to finish? And I wrote about it, and I said it a couple times. Somewhere along the way, I may misspoke and said 80 and 82. That's not true.
Yeah, it was in the commentary segment, those little 60-second videos.
One man's opinion.
And a one man's opinion, it was when we previewed the NL West race.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about the Dodgers 1, Arizona 2, Padres 3. Yeah, you must have misspoke.
I had to see, I'm wearing these new glasses, and my brain doesn't necessarily function. Just understand this. Might be the only time in my life. Here's a correction. Padres may finish third. I had the Padres going 85 and 77,
85. Okay, that
not 80 and 82. So I misspoke.
okay.
Mea culpa, one time in my life.
Yeah, you get a mulligan.
Okay, let's go from that